Graduates, I am so honored and thrilled to send you this message. At the end of every semester, I get super excited because I get to welcome you all to the club of JMU graduates. I'm one myself. I graduated from JMU a few years ago with a BS in biology. I have loved the mission of this institution since I was a student, and it drew me back as a faculty member. It's a big day in your lives, and it's been a hard year, possibly the hardest you've ever had. Congratulations on getting through it and getting to this day. It's an incredible achievement, and we are so proud of you. What I want to talk to you today about goes deep into my soul as a biologist and as a human. And it's a topic that I think it's hard to talk about this year because of the pandemic. It's interconnection. We have had to stay away from each other in ways that have felt strange and alienating all year. It's been a lot to take, and I don't want to spend a lot of time blaming a pandemic, but as you finish this chapter in your career here at JMU, and as you head out into the world to do great things, I want to talk about the importance of connection with others as being important, if not one of the most profound practices you can nurture moving forward in your life and your career. My thinking on this has taken a long time, like my whole life. Let's cut to it though, maybe Patrice, age 16 in Bristol, Virginia. The Patrice who planned on coming to JMU to be a marine biologist. So a little context on this. I'm from Bristol, Virginia, not an economic capital of Virginia or near a coast. And I grew up watching documentaries of the ocean, and I loved them. But I had never even seen the ocean until I was 16 years old. That moment of seeing the ocean for the very first time totally shored up in my mind that the ocean was where I was going to be. It was the place I was going to live, and I was going to be a marine biologist. Okay, 16-year-old Patrice makes the not quite logical decision to only apply to one college, landlocked JMU. I had never seen it. I had never been here. My family did not do college tours. We didn't have that kind of money. JMU was a really great education, and I really wanted a liberal arts education. I wanted to be trained across disciplines. I wanted to know little bits about all the things so I could talk to everybody I could talk to. Once I got to JMU, my passion for marine biology changed, and I grew to absolutely love ecology. After my undergraduate degree, I went on to study salamander behavior for my master's degree. Fun fact about that, highest biodiversity of salamanders in the world right here in this area. And the population dynamics of a really cool forest beetle for my doctorate. I realized through all the study that I had a deep curiosity about the dynamics of groups of populations called metapopulations and how connections between them form and are maintained. So connections were important to me and to what I was studying, but I was doing this all on my own. Oh, the irony. When I started as a faculty member, I realized that the research questions that were just swirling around required help from different disciplines to answer. I decided that I needed to collaborate with others, not my strength, because I felt that my own discipline wasn't bringing my knowledge journey in the direction I wanted to go. I had no idea what to do, but as anyone who knows me has heard me say, be a problem solver, not a problem haver. So I went on a quest to find people to work and play with. I found collaborators in math, and then I found some in biology, and then statistics, and then I found some in nursing, engineering, political science, physics, industrial design, ISAT, theater and dance, and writing studies. All of these folks saw the world slightly differently than I did, and it meant I could ask questions from a slightly different angle, and it helped me understand my system even better. Seeing my system through their eyes and their lens made my experience richer, made my insights deeper, and also changed my mind. So changing one's mind can be really hard sometimes. We know the world to be a certain way, and when we learn it isn't, it gets a little tough. Our time here at JMU has led us to change our mind, likely many times. For me, learning to see through another person's lens has, it was really hard. I'm just going to throw that out there. It wasn't the easiest thing I've ever done. But then it presented me with new knowledge that I hadn't had to deal with before. I'll give you an example here. Okay, it starts with a caveat. If you've ever had the joy of watching me dance, you'll know that I have a lot of angles and not a ton of flow. What's that phrase that I'm thinking of? Awkward turtle. Anyway, I was co-teaching an interdisciplinary course on water justice and water rights related to climate change, set in Ireland, in which we all, students, faculty, partners, we all co-created a performance dance piece. We dug into the published literature of science of climate change, and then we looked at water justice, then we looked at water rights. We talked to local folks about their experiences. We literally co-designed a dance together based on this research. Okay, to be clear, and because there's a video of this out there somewhere, my part was to run around the performance space 3 times and then join the whole group dance for the end. We were savvy about having me dance in public. That dance, though, for me, changed the whole way I understood the intersection of climate change and water justice. The process of embodying the content of our learning made me understand that issue so much differently, more deeply, and in a complete way. I learned that you had to not just think new knowledge, but you had to feel it and move with it and experience it with others. This way of thinking was entirely new to me. I was taught to collect evidence, analyze it, evaluate it, make conclusions. I generate new knowledge through the production of evidence, and that way of knowing is both familiar and exciting to me. I like evidence. I'm always going to ask for it. This way of knowing has served me very well. However, by limiting myself to only this one way of knowing, I couldn't fully appreciate the beauty, complexity, and wonder of the natural world. It turns out that there are folks that have known this much longer than me. An indigenous scientist known as Linda, describing her science on Science Friday, says, "I'm an indigenous scientist and I value empiricism, experimentation, data, observation, and objectivity just as much as my non-indigenous colleagues. However, as an indigenous scientist, I never forget about the importance of spirit, dreams, visions, and intuition as tools for attaining scientific knowledge. To be clear, I don't think that Western scientists are somehow above all this. I just think they're not as likely to admit that native ways of knowing are just as valid as the methodologies they've been taught through a Western worldview." Right on, Linda. My point is that when you're out there generating evidence and generally kicking butt at whatever you're doing next, ask yourself, what other ways can I gain insight? Who else can I talk with or work with or dance with or dream about? What are the other perspectives are there for us to know and understand this problem? The better we understand the scope of things that we're working on, the better equipped we are to be creative problem solvers, not problem havers. The integration of science, math and statistics, and culture is something that we can't ignore anymore. Science is rational, for sure, but it's also relational. And what I mean by that is we're all part of a network of humans and entities that we both affect and have effects on us, whether we acknowledge it or not. It's impossible for us to separate our lived experience from the practices in our disciplines. Your lived experience influences the way that you see the world. The lived experiences of folks we interact with every day influence the way that we think and do our jobs. What do we do with the knowledge and the ways of thinking that we have developed? This has an impact on everyone around us and vice versa. And what this means is that we need to work hard to seek and celebrate differences in lived experiences that facilitate the relational side of science. The issues facing the world today need us to figure this out. We have some pretty big existing global issues that you are being asked to step into and become change leaders. Your faculty and staff have been hard at work to help prepare you and transition you for these roles. I've learned through working with these collaborators from across very diverse disciplines and having different ways of knowing that our network matters. And we need to make sure that we have as much diversity in that network as possible. Acknowledge the rich experiences of the folks that are likely different than your experiences. And seek folks into your network that challenge you and help you grow. Invite voices into your conversation that broaden your perspective. I'm probably gonna cry. So graduates, welcome to the club. I am so excited for you. The future you're building is so exciting. The relationships that you're cultivating, they're gonna lead you to new ways of thinking and deep understanding. I'm gonna take a breath, wipe my eyes, check my hair. What I hope for you is that you have the confidence to really, really think. I know you have the skills. It also means that I hope that you have the confidence and the excitement for opportunities that lead you to change your mind. We're so excited to watch you be creative problem solvers, not problem havers. The relationships that you have and the ones that you cultivate will help you create and distribute new evidence that change the way that we understand the natural world. I'm so excited to see what you do. You are well prepared, you're strong, you're thoughtful, you're outspoken, you're confident, resilient, and curious. Don't be strangers. Keep us posted on what you're up to. Peace out.